Hey! Look who it is. My friends! Stephen Dwyer. What is happening, man? Alright. Sherry Blossoms. Hey, Angela. I made it. It's been quite a weekend for me. And it's time to get back to work. Hey, Lori. All right, Angela's got a few minutes. We have jobs. Let me see. I just messaged with Micah. So I'm just waiting for him to join the room. And then our fun will begin. Hello, Sogalings. And away we go. Jaybird, yes. Oh, there he is. There's our guy. All right. Let's see. Micah. Hey!
How's it going?
There he is.
It might be a little bad.
What'd you say?
I said my connection might be a little bad.
Oh, there it is. There's that Georgia accent.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Micah, can you start by doing a quick drop for the show? It's like, hey, this is Micah Plath, and welcome to Plathville, and you're watching the Domenick Natty Show.
Yep. Hey, guys, this is Micah Plath from Welcome to Plathville, and you're watching the Domenick Natty Show.
Perfect. Micah, you're nailing it already. You're such a pro. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to do my intro that I do for radio, and then we'll jump into some questions. Okay, welcome back to the Domenick Natty Show on Intellectual Radio in Chicago and iHeartRadio. I've been telling you about our special guest, and the time has come. Your favorite cast member and family member from Welcome to Plathville, Micah Plath is on the phone and in live with us. Micah, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes, you're so polite. Now, do you smoke? You could smoke during this too. Do you smoke cigars?
I don't.
That's good.
I was actually curious because I was wondering what flavor that is.
This is a Nicaraguan. This is
Nice.
I smoke cigars mostly just from Nicaragua. So
nice.
we're gonna do it. I'll come to Georgia. We'll smoke together. Yes.
Nice. No, I'm not 21 yet, so I can't buy.
Okay, then we can't do that.
No,
okay.
But funny story. My brother Ethan actually showed up to my place like 2 weeks ago or so, and I was in my room and I went out because I smelled something, and I was like, "What is that smell?" It kind of smelled like a cigarette, but I was like, I don't know anyone who smokes a whole lot of cigarettes, especially in my house.
Right.
It's funny because I walked out and Ethan's smoking a cigar, and I was like, "Can I try that?" And he was like, "Yeah." I don't have anything against it, so for sure.
You're a wild man, Micah. You're wild.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, so Micah, I got to start here because people are very excited about this interview, and the big question is Micah Plath dating anyone? And if so, can you tell us who it is?
That is a tough question. I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail because I'm not super sure how serious I am or how serious it is. But I am talking to someone at the moment. You can see her on my Instagram, but I am not positive on where we're at right now, if that makes any sense. So.
Oh yeah. I'm in the boat.
I'm kind of in the spot right now where I don't necessarily need a relationship it would be nice, but I just have a lot going on in my life right now with modeling and traveling, career choices basically, and I don't need distraction.
I understand.
But not saying the right person couldn't help me along, so you never know.
That's right. Find a good woman. But you are the girl that we keep seeing on your IG posts. That is someone that you're talking to.
Yes.
Okay. You're talking to her. All right. Now, what's her name?
Her name is Caroline.
Caroline. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, and how did you meet her?
Through Instagram, actually. We met and then just talked for, a few months and decided to meet up and kind of hit it off from there. So.
Now,
You never know who you'll meet or where you meet them.
I know. I understand. Now, did she hit you up in the DMs?
I should really know this, but I actually don't know. I think we have mutual friends or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
Maybe you hit her up in the DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how many children are you planning on having? Like, have you thought about that? How many children do you want?
Not as many as my parents had, that's for sure.
They got busy. Yeah.
They sure did right off the bat. We're all about 18 months apart, so they didn't take a break.
Just a factory.
But no,
Yeah.
to answer your question, I probably just want, I don't know, 3 or 4 eventually. I'm not in a hurry. So.
Okay. So 3 or 4, but not you don't want a farm. Yeah. So you're gonna do it a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, will you be raising your children in this same strict environment that you were raised in?
I go back and forth on that. Like, there's there's good and bad things about both. I used to have a lot of regrets about my childhood, and I still do, but I'm kind of in the process of getting over that and not letting that hold me back, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. But as far as my future kids will go, I'm still undecided, but chances are I wouldn't raise them how I was raised.
So let's talk, like, what do you feel like you missed out on? You're raised very sheltered and with a lot of rules, Yeah. So what is it like looking at that now? Like, what do you feel like you missed out on by being raised that way?
I would say the biggest thing was my social life, because we didn't have a whole lot of friends growing up. There was also the aspect of school. Didn't have the best schooling, but also the biggest thing that goes along with school would be sports, because I so wanted to play sports when I was younger, and I didn't have the chance. So that's one thing I would want different for my kids.
So you had no social, like, you weren't allowed to hang out with friends or like have friends spend the night or whatever?
Yeah, no, we never had sleepovers, nothing like that. Very few friends. My parents were just very particular about who we hung out with, which isn't bad, but I mean, they just went to the extreme, if any of our friends' parents or people we wanted to have friends with, if their parents didn't agree with my parents on certain things, then we weren't allowed to spend time with them. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it true that none of the Plath children have had any formal education?
Nothing more than high school, and our form of high school. So, I mean, it was not the normal school, but we had certain curriculums that we followed, and worked hard, and music was a part of our career, or as part of our school growing up. But no, nothing's is further than high school.
Does it qualify for a GED? Like, is it just a curriculum that your parents used, or is it?
It's some of both. For certain subjects, they used a certain curriculum, and then we did our own thing for other subjects. But I'm still not sure if it qualifies as a GED. I don't think it does, but my mom says it does. I don't know if that's for reasons that she has to say that on the show, or I don't know. So, but yeah, that's definitely in the near future for me, because I don't want to keep working a small job, and of course there's modeling for me, and I'm super excited to get into that, and be working towards that, but I want to have a backup, something that I can base my life on. So, but
is that something that you regret, is that you can't, because the way that you were brought up and their education system, that you feel like that kind of hurts you in life?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel that. And that's taken me a while to get past, and just realize that it's on me now to do what I want to do. So.
Yeah. Okay. And you won't be doing that for your kids? That's something?
No.
Yeah.
I would not do that for my kids.
Now, you left the farm. All right. So you're the one that got away, Micah. So, yep. I mean, Which one of your siblings has spoken to you the least since leaving the farm? Has there been anyone that's kind of shunned you, or who's most unhappy with you?
That's a hard question because when I first moved off the farm, none of us really talked. I didn't talk to them. They didn't talk to me. However, recently we've worked on it and we are hanging out a little more. I get to see my younger siblings more than I used to. So, but my oldest sister is probably, of course, she's not living in South Georgia anymore. She's married and lives in Ohio. So she's the one that I haven't seen or spoke to it was a while ago since I talked to her. So,
do you think there's animosity? Like, do you think she's disappointed in you?
I really feel like she was at first, and a lot of them were, my parents especially, but I think they've come around to knowing who we want to be and accepting us for that.
Gotcha. So it was a little, yeah.
There's acceptance on both ends too, so.
Oh, so you didn't really want to talk to them?
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Not.
Okay. So that was, I gotcha. So but there was some difficulty of people just accepting your decision at first.
Yep.
And also, okay, gotcha. Now, I want to ask you this: like, the Me Too movement is still a hot topic. Are you a supporter of the Me Too movement? And have you and any of your siblings ever been a victim of sexual harassment?
I have not. I don't think any of my siblings have. So I guess I'm unsure of what the definition of the Me Too movement is.
Basically, just unwanted sexual advances that that you were afraid to report. So is that?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Is that something that's ever affected you or anyone in your family that you know of?
No. Fortunately. Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Now, since you've been doing these sexy modeling shoots, have you had a lot of women hitting you up in the DMs?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's kind of obvious that would happen, but I mean, it's fun at times, getting all the attention. So, but then other times I don't try to let all that get to me. I want to stay, kind of humble and stay myself.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I mean, are they being very aggressive? Like, is that, because that's got to be very new for you. Are women throwing themselves at you?
Yes. I mean, I get some of all kinds of DMs. So you can imagine what I get.
Are you getting a lot of nudes?
I don't go through my DMs as much as I probably should, but if I see something that looks suspicious, I don't even bother. It's just like.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, I appreciate their support and them doing what they do, but.
Appreciate their support.
Everyone supports in their own way.
Yeah, but that is coming up. Like, some women are showing you nudes, and you're not looking at it? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
For the most part.
Okay. You ignore it for the most part? Okay. But you're not in a committed relationship. Like, basically, you're seeing Caroline.
Yeah. We're basically just good friends right now. So.
Okay. Nothing committed. So you're still open, because there's a lot of women in this comments right now. They're very interested in you. So, but you're not in a committed relationship. So you could still play the field.
So. I mean, I'm not too much of a player, so.
Okay.
I do like to have fun and meet people, so.
There we go. Now, have you had celebrities hit you up in the DM?
Have I had celebrities hit me up?
Yeah. What celebrities have reached out and said that they're a fan and watched the show?
There's been a few, no one like super huge that I saw, but I don't even remember their names. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you don't recall anyone. Okay. Now there's I know you don't have a ton of time, but I ask everybody this. Have you had a lot of haters? Now, we talked to a lot of people on a lot of shows, and a lot of the haters, they get very extreme. So
Yeah.
how bad have the haters been, and have you received any death threats?
Fortunately, no death threats.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, especially with reality TV, you get all kinds of comments. You get a lot of love, a lot of hate, a lot of support. Um, I fortunately, I get some hate for what I do and who I am, but I luckily don't get as much as some of the other cast members of our show, family. I feel like my parents are really put on the hate channel. They get a lot of hate, and Ethan and Olivia too, my brother and his wife. But as far as it goes for me, if I get like hate comments and hate stuff like that, I try not to dwell on it, because everyone has their own opinion, and if you let their opinion like rule over you, you're gonna have a bad day. So I just try to not focus on that.
Absolutely. Now, what about for your parents? Like, what have they said to them? What have some of the people? How has the attack been on them?
Just a lot about how they raised us. There's just been a lot of hate that they sheltered us way too much. Just a lot of pity for us as younger kids. But I just look at it like it's a life experience. Not everyone grew up with 8 siblings. Not everyone grew up without a TV, learning to work hard. So there's benefits for it. There's a lot of pluses that came with our childhood that honestly took me a while to realize. So, but now that I realize it, I'm like, my childhood wasn't perfect. No one's is, but just look at the good and pull from that.
So do you feel like you have a lot of resentment for the way you were raised, or do you feel like you used to have a lot of resentment and now you've got through it?
I definitely used to, and I would say I'm in the process of getting through it.
Okay. And are you going to any counseling or anything like that? Or is it just...
No, it's just, me talking to friends, and especially Mariah. Mariah's the sister that lives with me. We're sharing rent in a house, help make it easier on both of us, because we both moved out about a year ago, actually. And, she's my closest sister, and she's very supportive, and she's like my best sibling. So we're pretty close to each other.
Yes. Okay, now there's a couple questions in the box. There's 3 questions. Do you have time to answer those?
I do.
Okay. Such a nice guy. This is Caden. How do you feel about the show?
How do I personally feel about the show?
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I have not seen all of the second season that's out. I've watched some of it. Which sounds kind of bad, because I really should watch it and know what people see, when they watch it. But I've been super busy. I don't have the channel, and I'm not gonna pay to watch myself. So, but yeah, I should. And I'm definitely going to. I'm gonna catch up quickly. But I feel like it's very real. A lot of people think it's made up, a lot of it, and not realistic, but it is pretty accurate as far as how it portrays our family. Like, there is tension and everything's real. So
now, have you had a lot of, since you're modeling, have you had a lot of guys hit on you, and how has that been to have have guys hit on you? How has that been difficult?
I have. There have been, a lot of guys hitting on me, but I am straight. Straight as a knitting needle. And...
A knitting needle? Is that a Georgia thing? Yeah.
No, that was actually came to my mind because my brother told me a joke yesterday called a knitting needle. So
okay.
He's hilarious. He's always got a dirty joke in his mind that he'll tell you.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, I have a lot of guys hit on me. I'm straight though, so I don't pay attention to a whole lot of that.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. 20 questions have just come in. I don't know how, let me know when you got to go. Keep your chin up. Learning from it will make you stronger. That's encouraging.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's very encouraging.
How did your family get a TV show when they were never allowed, or TVs weren't allowed in the household?
That is a very good question. You know, I've wondered how it all happened too. But our family had a singing group for about 5 years, I think 2014 to 2019. And we had a website and some music videos out there, and they found us online and started reaching out, you know, to my mom. And my parents wanted to do it. They thought they saw this as an opportunity to show our beliefs and our lifestyle to the world. And some of us older siblings did not want to do it. Like, it was an invasion of privacy. It was just, you know, eventually we agreed to do it, and we did one season, ended up doing another season. And the second season was kind of flipped because my parents wanted to do the first one and we didn't. Then we wanted to do the second one to kind of follow through with the first one. And my parents did not want to because of all the hate they got on the first one. And our relationship with our parents was not very good at the time. We were like barely on speaking terms. So one of the ways we convinced them to do the second season was like, we will focus and work on our relationship with you. So that was one thing that enabled us to do the second season. No, but yeah, I always think about it, and I'm just like, it's so comical that we did not watch TV, and then 5 years later, you know, we're on it. It's funny. It's funny how things. I can barely hear you. Yeah, I'm here. I can barely hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is this any better?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you mentioned about your your brother saying dirty jokes, stuff like that. I mean, what were the repercussions? Like, what were the rules for pornography in your home? And if you got caught with pornography, what would be the repercussions of that?
You know, that was a huge sin. That was not allowed. We didn't get phones until we were about 18. So we had like, you know, no way to do that. And if we got caught, if we did that, then my parents, they're very private, and they would definitely like punish you, but don't tell anyone, like keep it on the DL, you know? But that's just them. They don't, when they have something they want to talk to you about or confront you with, they do it behind closed doors. And that was one thing I hated, because I was like, you know, we're a family, we should be open with each other, and they weren't. So
What does that mean? Like private from who? From other family members, or from, like, did they not want people, like they want other people, like their friends? Like,
no, I mean both family members and friends. I mean, it was
okay.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have open discussions about things that you were
No, I mean, honestly, none of us were very close with our parents, so it was hard to have open conversations with them.
Okay. And if you got caught, you know, with something that's inappropriate that you shouldn't have been doing, how would that work? Would they like go in your room and just, or would it be like a secluded conversation?
Yeah, they'd like pull you aside and have a secluded conversation.
Okay. And then what about the like the reputation to the public? Where was it like, don't tell anyone that you looked at porn or you did, you know, whatever? Was that always like an issue of keeping the family like kind of looking perfect?
I honestly feel like when we were performing, we were singing, we practically had the perfect family. Like, I mean, of course we argued and stuff, but we were so sheltered and so innocent that, I mean, we didn't do much wrong, basically. But then when we decided to, you know, do our own thing, start questioning our parents on certain things, that's when everything kind of fell apart, and our parents just realized that they don't have the perfect family, so why try to hide it? And then all of a sudden, I think it was really hard on a lot of us because that all started about when we did the first season. So kind of when we decided to do TV, we were thinking, this is going to be a fun, perfect family reality show. And of course that never happened. So it wasn't the case for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for being so transparent about that, because that's a real thing that actually a lot of people go through. It's like, we've got this family singing group, and make sure that everyone thinks that we're perfect, and that's that could be an issue for a lot of people. So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, no problem.
There's so many questions in the body. We can't get to all these. So you just let me know.
Let's pick one more question, because I actually do have to get back to work. But I really appreciate you setting time aside and letting me be on this interview with you.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's do this, because I know we said 20 minutes and it's been 26 minutes. So let's promote you, because I want to make sure that we get to this. So where can fans best keep up with you? Where can they find you? Where do you want to promote, direct them?
My Instagram is what I'm mostly on. You can follow me on Instagram at Micah Plath, and I actually just downloaded Twitter. I have not done anything yet, but eventually you'll be able to follow me on there.
Okay. Now, are you thinking of doing OnlyFans?
The money would be great, of course, but that kind of goes against what I personally believe and what I would do. So there's no chance of an OnlyFans for me.
Okay. So Instagram, and you just started a Twitter.
Yes.
Follow you on there. And basically right now what you're promoting is just your modeling, and they can check you out and see everything that you're doing.
Yep, and I appreciate your support.
Absolutely, Micah. Micah, I really appreciate it. I know that some of these questions, they didn't like them. So I wanted to get to know you and ask you some things that were on people's mind. You've been very great, and I appreciate it, and hopefully we can have you back in the future.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
Awesome. Micah, me too. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for joining us. It seems like you really liked it. All right. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay.